Let me ask you something. What if I told you the last election in your country wasn't really decided by voters? What if the very thing that convinced you who to vote for, that viral post, that trending video, what if I told you it was never meant for you? It was engineered. For you. And I know what you're probably thinking. That can't happen to me. But you have to understand, that's exactly what they want you to think. To really get what's going on, you have to look behind your screen. You have to see the machine. Because that reality you scroll through every single day, well, it's not random. Not even close. It is a meticulously crafted environment designed for one single purpose. And here it is. This is the purpose. Every major platform you can think of, TikTok, Instagram, X, YouTube, they all run on what's called a recommendation algorithm. Its only job, its entire reason for being, is to keep you watching for as long as humanly possible. And after spending billions of dollars on research, these companies found the one thing that keeps us glued to our screens more effectively than anything else. So what do you think it is? What is that one human emotion that an algorithm can latch onto to keep our eyes absolutely locked on our phones? Well, it's not joy, and it's not love. It's outrage. And listen, this isn't just some wild theory. We have the receipts, so let's dive in and see how this emotional engine actually works, and look at the proof that its creators knew exactly what they were building. I want you to remember this number, 6, because it explains so much about the digital world we're all living in right now. Back in 2021, a Facebook whistleblower leaked internal documents. And you know what their own researchers found? That content designed to make you angry spreads 6 times faster than any other type of content. 6 times. And here's the kicker. They knew this, and they kept the algorithm anyway. Why? It's simple. Outrage drives engagement, and engagement drives ad money. So this is where it gets really scary. What happens when you take this outrage machine and you point it, like a weapon, at millions and millions of voters? Let's take a look at the most infamous example. 87 million. Just let that number sink in for a second. That is how many Facebook users had their personal data scraped and harvested by a political consulting firm called Cambridge Analytica. All of them, without their knowledge. And don't think this was some one-off thing. No, this was a global business model, a system deployed in elections all over the world. The United States, the UK, Kenya, Brazil, India. You get the picture. This was a weapon for hire. And the goal? Well, the whistleblower from the company put it perfectly. They didn't just show people ads. They used that data to find people's deepest fears, their insecurities, the things that keep them up at night. And then they sent them content specifically designed to pour gasoline on those fears and channel them towards a political candidate. Their term for it? Targeting your inner demons. Now, you might hear that and think, okay, that's extreme, that doesn't affect me. But here's the thing. The mechanism behind it affects every single one of us every single day. It does this by creating completely personalized, separate realities for all of us. It's called a filter bubble, and you're in one. We all are. See, the algorithm learns what gets a reaction out of you, and then it just feeds you more and more of that, until the world you see on your phone looks completely different from the one your neighbor sees. You're not reading the news anymore. You're reading your news. I mean, be honest with yourself. When was the last time you were scrolling and saw something you deeply disagreed with and thought, that's a fair point? If you can't remember, that's the algorithm doing its job. And this has massive, real-world consequences. A staggering 85% of Americans agree that political division in the country has gotten worse. And it makes sense, right? Democracy needs debate. But how can you have a debate when everyone is sealed inside their own algorithmic reality? You can't. Debate just dies. And each side becomes more and more certain that the other isn't just wrong, but evil. And of course, this entire system is now being deliberately exploited. In 2016, a Russian troll farm reached 126 million Americans with the sole purpose of sowing chaos. In 2019, fake videos spread through WhatsApp in India led to real-world violence. And in 2022, social media posts were the fuel that led to the storming of the Brazilian capital. This is not a theory. This is documented history. Now, right about now, you might be tempted to share this as proof that the other side is being manipulated, but I need you to stop for a second, because this is where we get to the uncomfortable truth that nobody wants to talk about. So who is this manipulation machine really targeting? Everyone. The algorithm doesn't have a political party. It doesn't care about left or right.
It only cares about one thing: engagement. And if outrage is what gets you to engage, then it will serve you outrage 24/7, no matter what you believe. Which means, and this is the most critical point of all, every time you've shared a post that made you furious without checking if it was true, every time you felt that jolt of righteous anger and passed it on, you were part of the machine. We all are. Look, this isn't about making you feel ashamed. It's about making you aware. So the real question is, how do you defend yourself? I'm not going to tell you to just delete all your accounts. Instead, I'm going to give you a tool, a simple framework for mental self-defense. The next time you see a post that makes your blood boil, just stop. Before you share, ask yourself these 3 questions. 1, is this making me feel a strong emotion? If the answer is yes, that's a red flag. That feeling is by design. 2, can I verify this from a source I don't already agree with? If the answer is no, don't share it. And 3, who benefits if I believe this and share it? Really think about that. Follow the thread. Democracy isn't lost, but the threat it's facing isn't an army with tanks. It's an attention economy that profits from making us hate each other. The battlefield has changed. It's the screen in your hand.
And the war is for your mind. So the real question is, now that you know, what are you going to do about it?